All right, today we're on page 21 and 22. We're going to be doing our mid-chapter checkpoint for chapter 1. We will have a quiz on these concepts. So let's see where we're at. All right, so on number 1 through 1, 2, and 3, we're going to use these vocabulary words: expanded form, period, round, and standard form. Now, when we do these problems, we don't want to just guess at the problems. Over here in these little blue parentheses, they have the page numbers where I can review that concept. So the first one says look at page 9. So if I go back to page 9, it says the blank of 23,850 is 20,000 plus 3,000 plus 800 plus 50. So I'm looking for that concept. And I see 200,000 plus 60,000 plus 2,000 plus 400, and that's in the area next to the expanded form. So number 1 is the expanded form. Okay, because that's easy enough. Now the next one, it says we can look at page 17. If we're not sure what it is, you can blank to find out about how much or how many. Now, I do recall that keyword about. Well, let's say I did. So I'm going to go look at page 17. An estimate tells you about how many or about how much. So you can round a number to find an estimate. So when we find something that's about, we're estimating. So we're going to round the number. Okay, and so we've used round and we use expanded. In 192,860, the digits 1, 9, and 2 are in the same what? Are they in the same standard form or the same period? And it says look on page 9. Okay, so let's go back to page 9. Each group of 3 digits separated by a comma is called a period. All right, so 192 is in the same period. Okay. Number 4, find the value of the underlined digit. Okay, so now when we get started on this, we need to be able to make a place value chart if we get confused. So I want you to be able to do this on your own. So I'm going to use 2 lines, ones, tens, hundreds, ones, ones, tens, hundreds, and then we know that the first 3 numbers, we call those the ones, and so we can block that out. And we know that the second period are called the thousands. Okay? And so we can block that out. And then remember, we've been separating these into columns. I'm going to draw a straight line down to create the hundreds column, the tens column, and we have the ones column. Sorry about that, ones, thousands column is so much bigger. I got distracted by my lines. All right, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. All right, so anyway, we have a place value chart. And as long as the columns are lined up, In a sense, I guess it doesn't have to look pretty. We're just using this as a tool. All right, so we go to our first number in number 4, and we're going to write that number from right to left in the right place value digits, positions. So I'm going to write 1, 7, 6, 0, 8, 3. So that was our number, and the 8 was underlined. And it says, what is the value of the underlined digit? So the 8 is in the tens, thousands. So 80,000. The next number, we're going to write 10,698. Okay, so I've written 10,698, and the 9 is underlined in this case. So this time, the 9 is in the tens column of the ones period. So 9 tens is 90. Number 6. So write this in its place value spots. 4, 3, 2, 0, 5, 6, and the 6 is underlined. So the 6 is in the hundred thousands. So 600,000. Okay, number 7. Write the number in 2 other forms. Okay, so this is already written in standard form. So we can write it in expanded form and word form. So expanded form is like number 8, where it's broken apart by its place value. So we can start that. So our largest value to the left is 200,000 plus 90,000 plus 3,000 plus 800. And then there's no tens, so I'm not going to write that, plus 5. So that's expanded form. And now we need to write it in word form. And you're going to write it exactly like it's said. So if we're not sure, we're going to write the numbers in their place value. Okay, and we're going to read them by periods. So 293,000. So let's write that. 200. 93,000. And then look at the second part of it. 805. 805. Okay, so we've written that 3 different ways. They gave us the first one, and we wrote it 2 different ways. Okay, number 8, it's already in expanded form. So we need to write it in standard form and word form. Standard form is just putting the number as it would originally appear. So this is 305,000. 305,000. There were no 10,000s. Then the rest, the 20 plus 6. So no hundreds, 26. So that's standard. And now we need to write it in expanded form. In word form. So make sure I don't get confused. I'm going to go ahead and write the numbers, the digits in the place value chart. and then I can read it by periods. So I'm going to go the first three digits, 305,000, 305,000. So we have 305,000, and the last period, 26. All right. Let's move on to number 9. So number 9, we're going to compare. And we have 457,380 compared to 458,590. Remember, we've been practicing with these where we rewrite it with the value, the numbers underneath each other, and we line up the place value, almost as if we were going to add or subtract the numbers. So we have 0, 9, 5, 8, 5, 4. Okay, and then once we have them by place value, we went left to right until we found a place value position that was different. So the 400,000s doesn't help. The 50,000s doesn't help. But then we get to 7,000 compared to 8,000. And here we know that 7,000 is less than 8,000. So 457,380 is less than 458,590. Okay, number 10. I'm going to write the digit on the left first, and then I'm going to line up the second one to make sure that all the digits are lined up from place value from ones to its largest value. So the 0 is in the ones. They have 4 tens. They have 0 hundreds. They have 9 thousands and 3 10,000s. So I notice right away that my first number had 6 place value digits, and my second number has 5 place value digits. So this one doesn't have any 100,000s. So this first number, 390,040, is larger than 39,040. They look very similar. And if you were in a hurry, you might say, oh, those are equal. So that's why it's helpful to line them up by place value. All right, number 11. Again, if I was to look real quick, I might say, oh, those numbers are all the same because all the digits are similar. But are they in the same positions? Okay, so when I look at this one, the 10,000, 110,000, 1,000, 1,000, but the hundreds is different. 800 is less than 900. So number 11, 11,809 is less than 11,908. Number 12, we're going to round to the place of the underlying digit. Okay, you will recall that to solve these problems, we look at the place that we're rounding to. We're going to circle the digit to the right. If it's less than 5, we round down, which means keeping the value that's underlined the same. So this one, we're going to keep a 1 because the digit to the right is less than 5. And then we're going to replace everything to the right of the 1 with zeros. So 100,000. Number 13, we're rounding to the 4, which is in the hundreds place. We're going to circle the digit immediately to the right. In this case, it's 5 or greater, so we're going to round up. So we're going to increase the underlying digit by 1 to go from 4 to 5, and then everything after the underlying digit will be 0. 10,500. Number 14. I see that the 6,000 is underlined. I'm going to circle the hundreds, and this is less than 5, so we should round down. And round down again means keep the digit that is underlined the same. And then everything to the right of the underlined digit is 0, the digit that we're rounding to. Okay, we're rounding to the thousands, so everything after the thousands place has to be zeros. Okay, let's move on to page 22. Right, in 22, it says last year, 323,000 people visited the museum. What is this number written in standard form? 323,000 people. 323,000 people. Well, that means there's no ones, no tens, and no hundreds. So 323,000. All right. Number 16, round to the nearest thousand. What number will 4,645 be rounded to? Okay, so if I'm not searching the place value, let's write them in. 5, 4, 6, 4. Okay, so in my place value chart, I've written 4,645. They want us to round to the nearest thousand. The 4 is in the 1,000s place. So I'm going to look to the digit to the right, and the hundreds is 5 or greater. So I'm going to round up and turn the 4 into 5. Everything to the right of the thousands place will be zeros. So 4,645 is closer to 5,000. Number 17. So we're going to be using this chart. It says, what is the highest volcano in the Cascade Range? So my title is Cascade Range Volcanoes. I have 4 volcanoes. Tells me which states they're in, and these are their heights. So what is the highest? Okay, well, Mount St. Helens is not the highest because these other 3 numbers all have 10,000s. This does not have any 10,000s. So it's not Mount St. Helens. So which of these remaining 3 numbers are the largest? And so when I look here, the 1/10,000s doesn't help any. 044. Okay, well, that eliminates Lassen. So now I'm down to just 2 volcanoes, Mount Rainier and Mount Shasta. 4,000, 4,000, that doesn't help. But then 400 is greater than 100. So this one is the largest. So Mount Rainier. And number 18. Richard got 263,148 hits when he did an internet search. What is the value of the digit 6 in this number? Okay, the easiest way is to put it in a place value chart. If you're not certain, you can recall each of the place values. So I'm going to write 8, 4, 1, 3, 6, 2. And I have to find the place value of the 6. So I look at the 6, and I see it's in the tens, thousands. So 6 tens is 60 in the thousands. 60,000. Okay, 60,000. This number here is in the 60,000s. Is in the 10,000, so its value is 60,000. So that's it for lesson for our mid-chapter checkpoint. Again, we will have a quiz on this with very similar problems. So until tomorrow, may the numbers always be in your favor.